What's up, everybody? The next thing I'm going to be taking you through here is what I would call a semi-healthy dessert recipe. I call it a Snickers cake because it has a lot of the things that I love, caramel, chocolate, nuts, all that kind of stuff. So the first thing I'm going to begin with is some super fine almond flour. I'm going to use about 2 cups here. Okay, so that's what I'm going to begin with. And then I'm also going to add about a half cup of coconut flour. Okay. Next, we're going to be adding 3 teaspoons of baking powder.
Go.
Next, we're going to add about a half cup of some raw honey. The next thing we're going to be adding here will be 2/3 cup of some heated coconut oil. So we want it to be liquid there when we throw it in our mix. The next thing we're going to be adding here will be 5 eggs, and we want to make sure that we include the whole egg, yolk and all. The next thing we'll be adding here will be 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. What we have here is 3/4 cup of coconut cream. Next thing we've got 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. Next, we're going to use a half bag of some 60% cacao bittersweet chocolate. Maybe a little more than a half bag. Next, we'll be throwing in about a handful of some raw walnut pieces. Crush them up, give them a little crush there. Maybe a little more than a handful. The next thing we want to do here is we want to grab our baking tray and we want to coat it with some coconut oil. So that way our cake doesn't stick. We're going to load it in here and we're going to bake it on 350 degrees for about 35 to 45 minutes. Always just make sure to poke it with a toothpick, and if the toothpick comes out clean, then you probably have a complete cake. Alright guys, so my cake is done. I cooked it for about 45 minutes. Now I'm about to start my caramel sauce that I'm going to be placing on top of my cake. What I've included here is I have about 3/4 cup of coconut sugar, I have 1/4 cup of coconut oil, and I have about a cup of coconut cream. And what I'm going to do here is just heat it up for about 5 minutes. Alright, so my caramel sauce has finished cooking. I let it cool for about 5 minutes. I'm going to now place it in a mason jar, and then I'm going to let it cool even more. So I'm going to throw it in the freezer for about an hour. I'll let it cool, thicken up a little bit, and then after that I'm going to throw it on my cake. Alright, so now my caramel sauce is complete. I'm just going to go ahead and pour it over my cake here. I'm going to spread it nice and evenly. Alright everybody, there we have it, our complete Snickers cake.